Yeah, we just kind of got done talking about that, just staying consistent, and even those times when you're tired, you sprinted up and down a couple of times, just having that tough mindedness and willingness, to keep get under the or get over the ball screen, or talk with your man, something like that, and it's just we have that disconnect in pretty much every game, like you said. So until we figure that out, you know, it's gonna be the same result.
When you take away they had 42 points in the paint, 20 second half points, second chance points, but only shot 6 free throws. Does that say something about the physicality that you need on defense?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely does. We knew coming in they'd be a really hard playing team, a physical team. They clearly pride themselves on that. So that's just another thing. Along with being consistent, making plays down the stretch, we got to be tougher and physical, top to bottom.
You talked about getting tired. Do you think that 8-day layoff helped you guys or hurt you guys in the long run for this one?
Uh, I mean, nah, that I don't think that had anything to do with.
I think every
The
team
result.
has the same 8-day break, so I mean, I don't think it affected us.
Was there certain things you guys did in practice during that 8-day layoff that you really didn't execute today? Was there just something missing?
Like I said earlier, I think it's just in every game, every loss we've had this season, we make a comeback or something, and there's just a couple plays there where, you know, we're not there all the way, and that's part of the consistency thing. So I would just say mainly it's just the consistency thing on both ends, making plays down the stretch.
Adam, this is obviously your first kind of non-conference, slate of games as a college player. Kind of what are your big takeaways of, what it takes both individually and team-wise to consistently succeed here?
Well, it's definitely not like high school. it's a bit more physical, and I've the more experience I get, the more I could tell you. But right now, I'm just keeping my head down and keep working, just like all these other guys on the team. And we trust each other 100%, and I'm confident we're going to do well in conference.
You had a nice offensive rhythm to start the game. How frustrating was it to kind of see that go away? And was it anything that they were doing defensively, or do you feel like you just kind of missed some chances?
I don't really think they took us out of anything too much. I think it was more us just missing shots we usually hit. I felt like guys were getting in the lane, dishing it to each other. We were attacking well, so I would say every night there's gonna be a stretch where you can't hit some shots, no matter what the game is. So I think it was more if anything defense and rebounding, which has kind of been the story of our season so far. So.
Maybe obviously a quick turn before playing Wednesday on the road, but is this a chance for you guys to kind of, I guess, restart almost with conference play starters? Is that something you guys talked about?
Yeah, that, and I would feel if you're not excited for conference play, then you probably shouldn't be playing basketball. So I'm looking to see everyone pretty ecstatic about that. I know me and Adam are. So we just got to bring that energy and consistency in the conference.
Like you said, rebounding has been kind of an issue, but is this a team where you guys really felt matchup-wise it shouldn't have been as big as an issue as it turned out being?
I believe they're 14th in the nation in offensive rebounding, so we knew going in that they were gonna crash, and like AB's been saying, consistency. At times we did block out, and at times we didn't.
Going back to that conference schedule, you guys are going to start a consistent regimen now. It'll be Saturday and then Tuesday or Wednesday each week. What kind of impact do you think that's going to have on you guys, just being able to get into that rhythm, knowing that you're not going to play a random Sunday every now and then?
I think it'll be good for us. Especially with some newer guys, getting into that groove. Conference has always been my favorite time of the year. So I think that's, when you can play your best basketball, when you have quick turnarounds and you're out there a lot, learning each other's game, building chemistry. So honestly, I'm pretty excited for it, and I think it'll be really good for our team.
Adam, this wasn't the result you wanted heading into conference, but when you look back over non-conference play, is there one area where you guys feel like you've really improved and can carry, it's a building block moving forward?
Ooh, that's a great one. I feel like we've taken strides in everywhere from the first game, from the first 3 games. Obviously rebounding hasn't been the best, but it's gotten better. Our talk has gotten a lot better, and our defense has gotten a lot better too.
We're good. Thank you, guys.
we knew that that's a really good basketball team that we played, today. And I think they're an NCAA tournament team. I, told our team before and our staff, I think when you look at our non-conference schedule, which has been difficult, that may be the best team, that we played that way. And I thought we knew that going in. Clearly, we got off to a nice start today. I thought our kids were ready to play. But then, boy, it got away from us. And it's not too hard. You look at, what is it? They got, 23 more shots at the basket than us? I mean, it's pretty hard to survive that. And every time you make a mistake against a good team, they make you pay, and they did. And so we just got to find a way to be better, for longer periods of time. And, we're starting to do some things in stretches that I like, but basketball's interesting. You can't cheat the game of basketball, and unfortunately, if you decide to take the easy way out, sometimes you usually get burned, and there are no tricks. I don't think there's a lot of tricks, to what we need to do, and we've just got to keep moving forward, and hopefully we'll do that.
When you look at their points in the paint, their offensive rebounds, and the fact that they only shot 6 free throws, does that tell you about the physicality that maybe your team is lacking at times in there?
Absolutely. It tells you a lot, and it's funny I say that too. They only shot 6 free throws, and literally you look at that and you'd say, wow, that's pretty good, but honestly, we should have made them shoot more. Do you know what I mean? And we need to play with a lot more physicality, and our perimeter defense wasn't very good. Our interior defense wasn't very good. Our rebounding wasn't very good, and it just seemed like as the game went on, it just continued to get away from us more, and that's disappointing, but that's a good team, and again, they exposed us that way. But I couldn't agree with that more. I think that we're small, but just because you're small doesn't mean you can't be physical, and we're going to have to be a heck of a lot more physical than we are moving forward.
You mentioned, first 10 minutes played pretty well, had a little lead, and then they go on that huge run. So that's story of the season seems like in stretches you guys can be pretty solid, but you haven't been able to put together for halves or games.
Yeah, and unfortunately they play 40 minutes, right? Yeah, I mean, I think this team, again, I see flashes of things that I really like. It's just developing some consistency. And as the season goes on and you play these kind of teams and you play in league play, I mean, nobody's ever perfect, but, man, you got to play at a high level of intensity and stuff over and over again, no matter what's going on, made shot, missed shot, whatever it is. And clearly we don't do that, yet. And but I think it's like I told our team after, I don't see any reason why, through our mindset, why we can't compete and beat a team like that. I do. I believe that, and we're just going to keep going. I mean, we're just going to keep practicing, keep working. I mean, I believe in these guys. I think we got a lot of room for growth as a team. And, man, we're just going to keep working and plugging away.
I could ask your players, it's new staff and it's new year. Do you feel like there's anything as you head into the conference season you've learned through non-conference? It's kind of like that building block where you've seen that growth that you want to over these 13 games?
I guess it kind of just gets back to what I said. I mean, I'm seeing guys, whether it's in practice or in periods of the games, I'm seeing things that we emphasize, show up that maybe didn't show up before, whether it's a defensive rotation, a guard with a physical blockout, reading a ball screen the right way, executing. I mean, talking out or communicating a situation that maybe we didn't do earlier in the year. So you try to build on those things. But again, unfortunately, there's no way to cheat it. They don't play for 10 minutes. They play for 40. And what they got to understand is, shortcuts get you beat. Taking the easy way out gets you beat. And again, this is a good team. But boy, we read, and it just, as the game went on and on and on, it just kept slipping away from us. And I still thought, boy, when we cut it to 8 there in the second half, it's like, man, if we can sustain something here, we got a chance to win this game, and it just didn't happen.
When you look at the makeup of the roster, like they're a good offensive rebounding team. They're not that much bigger than you. Do you look at your team and say, if you play at this style, you can be good at this?
I do. I think, but they're very quick. They're really athletic. They got a lot of guys who can really go get the ball, and so that's what they do. I mean, they're a physical, aggressive, athletic team. And you know what? We still are, guys. I mean, we're playing some guys who don't have a lot of experience still. Guys like Kendall and Adam are freshmen that they're throwing to the world. They physically need to get stronger, and they will get stronger. They're playing against some men right now. Guy like Hiron Edwards, again, this is only his third college game. He played, his last one was a junior college game. He didn't even practice his year at Texas Tech. So those guys get better. Chris Martin too, guy who I really think can give us. He's trying to find his way a little bit, and so I think those things can happen. Logan Ryan is a kid who doesn't have a lot of experience, and sometimes unfortunately, there's only one way to get experience. That's to get experience, and you got to go through that. But I think there's a lot of room for growth still as a team, and we're going to keep fighting to do that.
You guys went into halftime down 13. What was kind of your message at halftime to the team?
I thought, one of the things we emphasized going into the game, we talked about having a fighting spirit, our spirit. No matter what, we've got to have a great spirit about what we do. I did think we did that against Long Beach. We didn't play very well offensively. And I thought we had a great spirit to start the game, but I could see when they went on that run and could see guys are frustrated because we missed some easy shots at the rim and wide open shots and front ends and one-on-ones. And you can't let that affect you. But again, what does that team do? They make you pay. And then we didn't get back on defense, and they made us pay, and boom, they hit open shots. And next thing you know, we're down. I just told our guys that, listen, no matter what, we've got to get our spirit back. We've got to come out and we've got to fight. And I think we came out of the locker room, with a pretty good spirit. But then, man, they just broke us. And but that was my message. Is I don't think there were a ton of adjustments that we had to make. We just had to keep fighting.
What's sort of the mindset and expectations you hope for the team going into conference play of, you kind of get the record wiped clean, but obviously want to take the lessons of non-conference play?
I think that's 2 points. You're right. You want to take the lessons, and we still have to grow and find an identity here, that we want. But league play is awesome. It's a whole nother level of intensity. You're right. Everybody's 0-0. Everyone gets a fresh start. You got to love it. I love this conference. I love conference play in general. I just love how the intensity ratchets it up. Everybody starts to know each other really, really well. We've got some great venues and places to play in, starting with UNLV here in a few days. And we've got to embrace that, and it's a whole new year, and we've just got to continue to get better, but I can't wait to get going.
2018 was kind of a wild year for the program, 2 different coaches. Do you think moving on from that into 2019, what are your kind of thoughts going forward into the next year? Now there's kind of more solidarity.
Yeah, it's a new year. We've just got to continue to move forward, and I want these kids to know that we're going to push them, but I still have a high level of belief in these guys. I think they can still really grow and get better. I really believe that, and so we're going to keep fighting, and you're right. That's a great way to look at it. It's a new year. A lot happened, last year to those guys, but move past that. This is a whole new deal. We're here. Everyone's ready to play. They're practicing, and now, they got to move forward. But it's a fresh start, and let's embrace it, right?
You guys go from having kind of mismatched dates to now you'll be playing Saturdays and then Tuesday, Wednesdays every week. What kind of rhythm do you think that allows you to get into?
I like that as a coach. Kind of you start to get into a rhythm of how you want to do things and how you want to prepare and practice. And it's going to come fast at us, right? These first 4 games, I think we talked about it. We really have a day off in 13 days almost, the way this is going to go. Players love that. Probably they get to play. I like to practice, But I think it's good to get into a rhythm of the conference season. Another thing that's unique this year, I think the conference tournament's a little bit later than it's been, so I think we actually get 2 byes in Mountain West play this year, which I like too. I think get a chance to kind of regroup a little bit, take stock, maybe take a day or 2 off, and then get back out to the practice floor. But we're going to get into a rhythm of a schedule here pretty quick, and this goes fast, man. These leagues and conference goes fast, and so ready or not, here we go.